When setting up your brooder, you will first want to consider what type of container to use. Galvanized stock tanks are very popular, and this is what you'll typically see the feed stores using to brood chicks. You can also buy a ready-made kit. These are convenient and often very affordable, but keep in mind that most of these kits do not contain a floor. Many people also use rabbit cages, large plastic totes, or plastic baby pools. Even a sturdy cardboard box can work. If you use a plastic tote and want to use the lid, of course you'll need to cut holes in it to ensure a good air supply. A covered tote can overheat pretty quickly, so if you use the lid, I recommend you also cut vents in the sides for good airflow, then covering all openings with hard cloth. If you use a cardboard box, keep in mind that a brooder will get messy. Depending on the depth of your litter, chick poop will make its way to the bottom and soil the box. A dog crate makes a great brooder because you can close it up tightly while also allowing plenty of airflow. As with a tote, you'll want to attach hard cloth. Hard cloth is easy to cut and trim to size. You can then attach it with zip ties. By the way, a dog crate is also perfect when you need to isolate a bird because of disease or injury. If you're the kind of person who likes to be creative and you want to build your own brooder, do a search on Google Images or Pinterest. You'll see a lot of great ideas. Next, let's talk about how much room your chicks need. You want to make sure that they are able to run around and not be stepping on each other. A good rule of thumb is half a square foot, roughly 450 square centimeters, per chick. To calculate the size of your brooder, measure length and width in inches. Multiply width by length, then divide by 144 to get the square footage. For metric, measure in meters and simply multiply width by length. If you measure in centimeters, multiply width by length, then divide by 10,000 to get square meters. A typical 45-gallon tote has a base of roughly 4.5 square feet, or 0.4 square meters. Doing the math, you could safely put up to 9 chicks in a brooder this size. This 100-gallon stock tank measures 6.5 square feet, 0.6 square meters. It would accommodate up to 13 chicks. When my mother-in-law got a new push mower, it came in this large box. I think it would make a nice brooder. It's 6 square feet, a little more than half a square meter, about the same size as the stock tank. It would accommodate a dozen chicks. My brooder was just over 4 square feet, 0.37 square meters, and we brooded 6 chicks at a time. They each had 2/3 square foot, or 600 square centimeters, a little more than the recommended minimum. Keep in mind, the smaller your brooder, the larger the percentage of space that is taken up by your feed and water. This small dog crate is just over 3.5 square feet, a little more than 0.3 square meters. Using our rule of a half a square foot per chick, it should have enough room for 7 chicks. But look how much smaller the living area becomes once you add their food and water. I think 5 chicks might be the limit for this brooder. Here's another important consideration that you don't want to overlook. Your chicks will more than triple in size within several weeks. These little ones are just 21 days old, but look at how big they are already. The good news is that they still have plenty of room to move around. That's because my friend Amanda planned very well. She is using her rabbit hutch, which is 6 square feet, or slightly more than a half square meter. She is brooding 7 chicks, but could easily add 5 more, and everyone would still have plenty of room. So, remember to select a brooder that is not only big enough today, but will continue to accommodate your chicks as they grow. If not, you'll need a larger, intermediate brooder where they can live until it's time to transition to the coop. I say you might as well get a big enough one from the start. A few additional things to consider. Remember that chicks have very immature immune systems and are susceptible to all sorts of infections. For that reason, disinfect your brooder before you get your chicks. Use a disinfectant that is safe for animals. A solution of 10% bleach and 90% water works very well. When you're done, rinse everything thoroughly with warm, clean water. Chicks grow fast and will be able to jump out of anything in no time. I always keep my brooder covered in case somebody wants to become an escape artist. I want my chicks to experience the light and sounds of outdoor living, so I kept the garage door open for a few hours a day. Finally, always be thinking about security. I made sure the door to my garage was latched and couldn't be pushed open. If you keep your chicks outside in your yard, you will also want to make sure that the sides, floor, and top of your brooder are all secure.